Hi, welcome to the Brush and Balcon. Today we're going to be doing a short tutorial on how to paint the scenery from the Necromunda box set. The first thing that we're going to do is just going to use a little bit of Citadel Leadbelcher, and we're just going to coat the whole thing with that. Right, when we come back to this, we'll have all the Leadbelcher on it. Next we're going to use a little bit more Nuln oil. We're just going to do some more streaky areas on this just to sort of darken them up a little bit. When we come back, we'll have all the darkened patches done. The next colour that we're going to be using is Citadel Grax Earth Shade. We're going to be using that mainly at the bottom of the barricade, as though there's dirt all around the bottom, and then running from various points on it as well. When we come back, we'll have all the Grax Earth Shade done. Now we're going to move on to Seraphim Sepia. We're going to go around the edges of the joins in the metal, and also where we've used the Grax Earth Shade, we're going to be going into there as well, just giving that a bit more of an orangey, dirty, rusty coloured look. When we come back, we'll have all the sepia done. Next, to get a little bit more orange colour to it, we're going to use a little bit of Citadel Shade Fugan Orange. That's just add a little bit more of that rust colour to the front. There we go. Next we're just going to use a tiny little bit of Typhus Corrosion and use this around the edges of some of the joins in the metal. Like so. The final thing that we're going to be using is a little bit of Citadel Ryza Rust. And there we have the finished door. Just like with the barricade there, we're just going to be using Leadbelcher to put a layer on this, and we're going to be putting it onto the base as well as the actual machine itself. When we come back, we'll have this layer finished off. And now that we've got that shaded, we're just going to use a few little colours to bring brought to life. First one I'm going to be using is my fist on red. I'm just going to use that to paint some of the buttons on here. Now a little bit of Retributor armour. I'm going to use a little bit of Abaddon Black to do the screens dark. A little bit of the German can bright green. Tiny little bit more of the fist on red on the back here. A little bit of Ricard flesh on the skull. What I'm not going to show is just going to use plain white on the buttons on the actual console. When we come back, those buttons will all be coloured in. Now we're just going to do these cables at the back here. We're going to be using Averland Sunset to do the actual cabling. And we're going to be doing once you've got these in, all you want to do is go back around and fill in the sides. When we come back, all these will be done. Now I'm just going to be using a little bit of a Grax Earth shade. That's just to darken off some of the areas. When we come back, we'll have all the Grax Earth shade done. Next we're going to be using some Seraphim Sepia. That's just to build up the rust effect. When we come back, all the sepia will be finished. I'm just going to use a little bit of German can bright green, and we're going to try and do like a little graph or something on the computer screen. Okay, next we're just going to highlight the lens on the skull. For that we're going to be using a mix of my fist on red and just plain white. I'm just going to do one more little crescent, slightly lower down than that. Then a spot of pure white at the top. I'm going to just re-highlight that with a little bit of Ricard flesh. And finally go around the edge of the eye with a tiny little bit of Retributor gold. With the Typhus Corrosion applied, I'm just going to add a little tiny bit of Ryza Rust to those areas just to give it a bit of an orange look. Like so. Two final things we're going to do is use Drachenhof Nightshade just to colour some of these buttons. A little bit of Cassandora yellow to do the two bigger ones. And then finally we're going to use a little bit of Leadbelcher just to bring the edges of these areas out. calling that done. Once again, we're just going to be using Leadbelcher just to give this its initial colour on the grate and on the rim of the grate. Yeah, like so. I'm going to use a bit of German Cam bright green for the tentacle. I'm just going to give that a layer or two of that so we get a nice smooth layer. When we come back, we'll have a nice smooth green layer on the tentacle. Now we're just going to use Citadel Nuln oil to wash the kind of manhole cover, and then we're going to use Citadel BL Tan Green to wash the tentacle. When we come back, all of BL Tan Green will be finished. Now we're just going to paint in all the middle sections of the grate, paint them black. Like so. Now for this, we're just going to be adding a little bit of Ricard flesh to the underside of it, and then we're going to try and blend that in a little bit. When we come back, all this will be done. We're just going to mix Ricard flesh and Vallejo German Cam bright green, and we're going to do a few different layers, increasing the amount of Ricard flesh in the green so we can blend this area in a little bit. A little bit more Ricard flesh to the mix. The final mix of Ricard flesh, German Cam bright green. Like so. Now we're just going to apply the rest of the German Cam bright green to get its skin back up to scratch again. When we come back, all this green will be done. Next we're just mixing a little bit of white with German Cam bright green, and that's just going to be to do a little highlight on the skin. When we come back, all the highlights will be done. Now we're just going to do a little bit of redness inside the wounds on its side. like so. Now we're going to use Seraphim Sepia just to add a little bit more of that rust discoloration that you get on the grid. And the final thing to do with the sepia is just going to do a little bit in the crease here. Like so. Okay, the only things left to do now is add a little bit of Typhus Corrosion, and then we're going to be using Ryza Rust over the top of the Typhus Corrosion. Like so. Last thing that we're going to do is going to add a little bit of Ryza Rust to the Typhus Corrosion. Like so. And that is the completed tentacle. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you have, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future content. Also think about subscribing to any of our other social media linked below. Thanks very much.